In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a new client. So we click on the client button up the top here, create new client, and then we select the account type, whether it's a company, a contract, an individual. Just note that if it isn't an individual, we always need something in the account name, and then we can just push that button and it will actually populate first and last name. Saves us having to type that twice. Then we just put in an email address, and we then can put a phone number in. A mobile, and then address. Now we can search for that address. Just start typing, and if we see that, we can select it. If we want to push the billing address to delivery address, we can just select that button there. And now we create that customer. So now we're in the customer. We have their terms, where they came from, and we might want to take their car registration or their license number, which we can put in here. If the company has a discount, so we could give them a 10% discount, for example, across everything except for services we provide, we could select and add that there. We also have the ability to add price levels. So in our inventory, we can say we have A, B, C, D, E pricing. And if I select B for this customer, he'll get the B pricing. So he's a better customer than our walking off the street A guy who just gets retail. So that's A, B, C, D, E pricing. We can store credit cards down the bottom here, putting card details in. Moving across over here, we can add notes to this customer, and we can also add other contacts. So instead of Ron, we've got another guy called Jim. So we can have his details and his various other information. So it just means that when we're doing a contract for this company, it might be Jim instead of Ron that calls up. So we can select Jim in the job and put the contract to Jim. Now, moving across, we have, well, before we go anywhere, if this guy is a supplier, then we can tick that, and then they will show in the supplier list. Owner means that we could have warehouses where this guy could have stored some of his equipment. So if we tick him as an owner in our inventory list, we can select what inventory he owns. Also, if we take commissions for this customer, we could then say they pay us commission, or we have to, if we take commissions, say we're an event venue and every time a wedding happens, we need to give them 10%. We turn on that we pay this company commission, and how much is it 10%. So we'll just track whether we want alerts to go to them, and we could store insurance certificates, so policy and when it expires, so the system will track that. We have a rental history, so this is a full history of the company's rentals with us, and their invoice history and their payment history, so everything they've ever paid will be in here. And then we have a contact history, so anytime we send messages such as emails or text messages, they will be stored in this area here. The other area here is sites. So some sites, for example, might be Jupiter's Casino, and they have 3 bars in there. So then we could have a new site, and then what we can do is then put details in for that site and who the contact is and their phone numbers and any other relevant information that we want to get, what surface, what stage size. Now, keeping in mind that these words, surface, power supply, stairs, are all editable in the admin, so you could actually change this to get whatever you want. Now, when you when you add this site to a job, it'll pull this information through, which the boys will see on the phone app or on a printed checklist. So now we have a site, and we could have multiple different sites for this. The last tab is the accounts tab, and that just is for the online store. We can give them a username and a password so that they can access that store. From up the top, we can create a new rental for this company just by clicking that button. We create a new quote or a new rental. Okay, so that's it for creating a customer.